Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. My name is Emmertorn, and we are playing as Denmark. Yeah. Okay, so Denmark sits in a precarious position during World War II, right next to the German Reich. Um, so our goal for this game is basically to survive, maybe gain a little bit of land, but ultimately to survive the war and hopefully help the Allies defeat Germany. Um, it would be nice if we could gain maybe a little bit of this land, but I'm not going to push my luck. We start off pretty weak. We've only got a few ships, and we have really not much of an army at all. Um, Our national focus tree is fairly generic because we are considered a minor power, and Paradox hasn't really done a whole lot for the Scandinavian countries um, as of yet. So we're probably going to focus on stuff that improves our industries and helps us build infantry and artillery. We will be working on boosting our border defenses here, as well as creating some choke points in the islands here. Um, really, what we want to do is we want to make friends with the Allies and then hopefully last long enough that the British come in and help us push into Germany from the north. Once the war actually gets started, we'll spend most of the beginning of the war just setting up and trying to we'll spend most of the war just setting up and trying to get some defenses put in, um, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's January 1, 1936. Let's select our national focus. I am going to go ahead and start with industrial effort. We want to get down that tree as quickly as possible. We do have Iceland as a occupied territory, I suppose. We could release it if we would like to. I'd like to hold on to Iceland and Greenland for as long as possible. Hopefully, we don't end up having the Germans take that from us, or even the Allies. Let's see what we can do here with tech. So we're gonna want artillery pretty quick. Enter more artillery, anti-tank, and we're gonna want anti-tank guns. So let's go ahead and start research on that, and then we also want to do everything we can to improve our industries. Alright, so we'll start with basic machine tools, and then we'll work on synthetic refineries. We also want to increase our infantry capabilities. So let's go ahead and start with support weapons. We have free civilian factories. Let's go ahead and build another factory there. We can't build a factory there. We will go ahead and build two in Iceland. We can work on our infrastructure a little bit. But land forts are probably what we really want. We're definitely going to want a couple of land forts there and a coastal fort there and there and there. So that way we can kind of block everything that's going on. The only thing that we're going to do with our naval ports is build convoys. There's really no reason to build much of anything else. Our navy is completely pointless. We might build some subs if we survive long enough, but it's not really our intention. We only have 2 military factories right now, so we really can't do much. We're going to want to try to bolster that pretty quickly so that we can add in the creation of some artillery. We don't have any divisions training right now. I will go ahead and add in some training of a couple of units, and we will have them set up in Jutland. Also, we are going to put all of our military into a command. We will put Wilhelm in charge of this group. Danish Home Defense. Okay. And we will set up our front line right there. And just for grins, we will set up an offensive line along there. We do not have an army group at this point. We really don't have anybody that's set up for that. Alright, and then the people that we're training, we want them to automatically go to that. And so we have some support artillery. We have an engineer company involved in this. Once we get some experience, some army experience, we will probably modify this a little bit because I want to add some artillery here, and I'd like to have 3 infantry, or 3 groups of 3 infantry, and then either 1 or 2 artillery for each company in the division. So, alright. This is telling me that we have missing equipment, which is the artillery. We can go ahead and add the artillery, but we really don't have any factories to build it. So we'll try to get that corrected as soon as possible. Insufficient resources. We need oil and steel. Well, let's see. Who has oil that's nearby? The United Kingdom? We can do some trading with them. And steel. Let's trade with Sweden for some steel. Alright, and we're low on manpower. Well, we are Denmark, so we're always going to be low on manpower. Alright, so let's get this started and see how things go. I'm going to boost this up to speed 3. So things move around a little bit. We'll probably slow everything down once the war really gets into position. Unfulfilled import requests. Yep. So, Alright, I suppose we can get some steel from the Soviet Union if we'd like. Maybe. Stop trading with the British. We have some decisions here. Restore the Kalmar Union, proclaim Nordic unity. Yeah, we're probably not going to get to those. Improve worker conditions. Okay. Research. Diplomacy. We don't really have a whole lot in the way of diplomacy right now. We'll probably get put into into the Allies no matter what once the war gets started. We've got our construction going on. And really now we just kind of sit and see how things go. Logistics. So we got our convoys going. Surplus of 42 convoy units. Okay, so we're short support equipment and infantry equipment, and we're short 49 artillery units. Okay. And our efficiencies are pretty terrible right now as well. All right. Kind of take a look around here, see what else we got going on. War in Ethiopia and Italy is going. British Raj, China, United States, Dominion of Canada. Okay. It's winter, so you can see all the ice around our lands. Alright, so our infantry is up there. Okay, so we're definitely going to want to change the template of the cavalry to infantry. Cavalry really isn't going to do us much good. And our ships, we don't really have a commander, so I'm going to go ahead and move our ships up here. Yeah. I don't feel Copenhagen is a good place for them. So this gives us a chance to get out if we need to. I suppose we could set them to patrol this sea zone here. Which basically has them patrol the entire Baltic. Okay. Nationalist Spain has declared war on Spain, so we have the Spanish Civil War going on. Okay. So there's the Spanish Civil War going on. I don't think that we have yet, so we're not really in a position to send them volunteers at all. It would be nice, but it's not going to happen. Okay, the fact that they are not got any artillery is definitely an issue. Hopefully we can get that taken care of pretty soon. Research going on. It's our national focus industry effort. Remilitarization of the Rhineland. Okay. Let's go ahead and pause this right now. Alright, construction effort. Let's go ahead with armament effort. So we can get a military factory and get some artillery going. Okay, so we are getting our infantry equipment up and running. We're making 6.5 a day. We do have support equipment being made. We're going to end up with excess support equipment, which I think is okay. Once we get ahead a little bit, then maybe we can switch the artillery and the support equipment priorities. We do have an Air Force. Guess we can give them an air superiority mission over our own territory. Decisions available. Ban fascism, ban communism, institute press censorship, improve worker conditions. I think we'll hold off on that. Okay, so tank designer, artillery company, yeah, so we're gonna want that pretty soon. Military staff, army defense, we're definitely gonna want him, so as soon as we can we will pick up this guy. Army logistics and artillery would be nice. So I think we're going to hold off on decisions right now because we want to save our political power. Construction. Yeah, so it's going to be 37 before we finish our civilian factory there. I think we want our defenses in Jutland to be more of a priority, so we'll do those first. Okay, so we got 30 days for research on those. We got our armament effort is coming up pretty good. Okay, so these are the people that we're going to want to worry about the most as far as getting diplomacy with us. Okay, so we can modify our government. Captain of Industry, civilian factory construction speed 10%, infrastructure construction speed 10%. So we will go with Captain of Industry for our first one to speed up the building of our factories. Alright. So our industrial effort is almost finished. Just a few more days. Being a minor power, we kind of get a slow start. Looks like the Spanish Civil War is still going on. Italy has so it looks like they finished their war with Ethiopia. They took some land, but not all of it. Interesting. Alright, so our regular focus. Let's do construction effort. We do want to get down here so we can get these extra research slots. Alright, so that should allow us to now be building artillery. Okay. So our efficiency will get up there. Looks like we're capped efficiency-wise for a little while. Okay. Insufficient resources. We need tungsten. Sweden is nearby, so let's go ahead and see if we can get some tungsten from Sweden. Research. Support weapons. Basic machine tools and interwar artillery are also done. Alright, so it's 36, so we still can't really... what about doctrines? Superior firepower, mass assault, grand battle plan. Engage your battles, key success. Mobile warfare. Okay, so I think we are going to go down the superior firepower doctrine. Alright. So, industry. Yes, we're going to go with synthetic oil experiments. And so I don't think motorized is really going to do us much good. We kind of want these. Let's go ahead and do these 20mm guns. Okay. Alright, our construction. It looks like we've got our first defensive thing set up. Copenhagen over here. Oh, I guess this war is still going on. I didn't realize. It almost looked like it was over with. The rest of the world is still pretty quiet. Our world tension is only at 5% right now. Looks like fascist Spain is going to probably win this war. And we do have men training now. Alright, so Italy took one state. Ethiopia was annexed. We have artillery being built. Construction efforts going. Okay. We don't have to worry too much about fuel. I mean, fuel isn't a thing in this one because the new expansion hasn't come out for that yet. So fuel and supply, we're still not worried about too much. Would be nice to kind of get the United States involved in the war fairly quick. I don't know if we'll be able to do that or not. As with most games of Hearts of Iron 4, if you're playing a minor power, the first couple of years of the game are actually fairly quiet, unless you decide to become pretty aggressive. Since our goal is basically to just survive, we are not being that aggressive. How's our construction going? So on August 22nd, we'll have our second fort. Let's make a quick change here. I want to use NATO symbols. Okay. I'm an old fan of old war board games, so the NATO symbols are kind of my favorites. Okay, I'm not too concerned with that. We probably want to look at doing some anti-air at some point. That way we can protect against German aircraft. Fighters and bombers could definitely hurt our ability to defend our homeland. Okay, so our construction is still going on. Diplomacy. Not wasting any points in diplomacy right now. Our stability is good, and our production is going. We've almost finished catching up on our support equipment. And there we go. Now we're stockpiling support equipment. I'm going to go ahead and put our artillery ahead of our support equipment. We will want to definitely build up some more factories for both of those as we can. Okay, so they still need equipment. Okay, so we get decisions available. Alright, construction effort is complete. Alright, we are going to continue with our we're going to continue going down this line so that we get our civilian factories, and so it looks like that's where we're going to put in a break. As you can see, we're still in defense building. It's still middle of July or middle of 1936. Not much has gone on. The Italian War with Ethiopia has ended. The Spanish Civil War is still going on, although it looks like that's going to end fairly soon. Germany has redone the Rhineland, and that's kind of where we stand. We're still at peace for the most part. And still a couple of years away from the war. So, until next time, my name has been Ammerdorn. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button. And you guys have a good one. Goodbye.